I'm Erin Cameron, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Environmental Science at St. Mary's. I'm an ecologist, so that means I work on interactions between organisms and the environment, but I'm kind of a specific type of an ecologist, so I look at global change in particular. Global changes are things like climate change, land use change, and invasive species. There's been quite a lot of research on global change and how humans are affecting the environment, but most of this research has been looking at oceans or above ground systems, whereas I work on soil. When I first started doing research, I worked on birds and plants, but then I realized how diverse the soil is. So I switched over to studying below ground biodiversity and ecosystem functioning. I work on earthworms mainly because they're invasive species in Canada. They were wiped out during the last glaciation, and the species that we have here are introduced from Europe, and they actually have pretty big impacts on other organisms. In Nova Scotia, we know some locations where invasive earthworms are located, but no one has done detailed surveys of their distributions or what their impacts might be here. I'm really excited to be working at St. Mary's on soil biodiversity. There isn't a lot of research in Nova Scotia that looks at soil organisms in forests, and this biodiversity provides many key ecosystem services that humans rely on. We really wouldn't be able to live the lives that we do today without soil. Our food is grown in the soil, and soil is also a critical component of dealing with climate change because so much carbon is stored in the soil. But this is also an understudied area, surprisingly. We don't know as much about how global change impacts soil biodiversity and ecosystem functioning below ground as we do about how these changes by humans affect marine or above ground systems.